What you're going to be seeing and hearing is the experiences and the reflections of 4 people who traveled to a place called Ryanshogu in southwestern Kenya, in the highlands of equatorial Africa. It was in 2007 that I first met Kefa Antiri over the internet, and after months of interaction and communication, we committed to each other to meet. I was describing to him the culture in our country and the normal ways in which people have accepted supporting outreach in Africa. And he said to me, "Brother Bud, we cannot just feed the children. We must educate the children. For if we do not educate the children, if we just feed them, we will raise up thieves and thugs and beggars." If you're coming to Africa, don't expect to know and direct and control. It was learning how to live in Africa, in an Africa time, in Africa terms. It's not at all difficult, but it's different, and I had to learn.
It's one thing to visit the poor. It's another thing to become immersed in their lives. I took a group of women into the Maasai land a number of years ago, and as we drove in, there are dung huts. You walk on dung, and dung naturally attracts flies. And so as all of these flies were just zooming around everybody, she just looked at me and she said, "Anastasia, do I have to get out of the van, or can I just write a check?" We can just visit poverty, or we can allow ourselves to become immersed in it for a period of time.
I never thought I was really going to go to Africa. I've traveled a little bit around the world, but coming to Africa was definitely not on the agenda. And with all the violence and everything that was happening, it was really a difficult decision in one sense, but one I felt in my spirit that God was saying, "You need to be there, young man." So I said, "Okay, Father, I'm going to go."
Not to sit in our churches and enjoy a Sunday service and go home and watch a football game. If we're truly going to be transformed to be more like Christ, we got to go.
The day we arrived, we were about 4 hours late. And yet, as we drove in, there's children and women and men dancing and singing for a stranger.
The people were running alongside our vehicle, and we were looking out and waving, and they were waving. It was, to me, it was one of the most incredible experiences of just a connection. I mean, I just felt like magnets went bonk.
And in the village where we ended up, the people there have never seen a white person. A white person has never come to visit.
You know, as we entered the village, our expectations of what the people are going to be like can never match what you really experience.
I've had a lot of great experiences with people and teams and crowds, but nothing like this. It was just, brings tears.
We in America, in my opinion, find it very comfortable to be where we're at, to try to surrogate, if you would, our way into Christian mission. And I believe it's important both for the people, for us to see them and for us to greet them and see what's really going on, but also for us to get a sense of our own purpose, to reach beyond what's comfortable, outside the box, and see the power of the personal connection. We know that in business, It's the same in this.
The women are clothed in humility. We have so much to learn from them in terms of materialism and consumerism and individualism. And we live in a culture of so much excess. And these women have nothing. And yet, they're humble spirits.
My task on the trip was to document the people in the village and the needs. I had no idea going into it what an attraction a camera would be. I mean, I would take a picture immediately, and kids would just surround me wanting to see it. They'd never seen a camera like that in their life.
I was totally impressed with the going to the three schools that we went to, going into these classrooms where it was very, very sparse in terms of wooden benches and no desks hardly, and Kefa calling on these young children to come up to a blackboard and asking those children in English to do mathematics, to explain relationships, and these kids had such eagerness and such energy and such intelligence that they're doing second languages in the first and second grade, learning how to write and understand English at the first and second grade level. And to me anyway, it was just a great experience with these people.
I think one of the unique things about the team that went was that we weren't from one church or one organization that was sent out, but we were actually from 4 different churches.
I was sleeping with the girls, the little orphan girls, and the last night, just hearing those girls before they went to sleep singing "Kumbaya, my Lord," and yet after these kinds of trips, knowing that they're still left. They're left in that situation unless somebody comes in and comes alongside to give them a hope and a future.
But I got the impression that these kids, some of them were smiling, happy, and something was going on where there was hope, that there was a reason to be expectant, have joy, and know God's going to do something really important. And other little pups, to me anyway, it looked like that they were just down. And I was praying for them. I just said, Lord, touch these little hearts, you know. So I think that's it.
One of the scriptures that has come upon my heart now that this trip is coming to an end is in the book of Micah in the Bible. I think it's chapter 6. And in it a question is asked, what does the Lord require of you? And then it follows with an answer. To seek justice, to love kindness, and to walk humbly with your God. And I can think of no better place that I've ever been in my entire life to be able to experience that and to practice that than Ryanshogu, which is known as a village despised.
If in 8 or 10 years I come to this country twice a year, I could never bring enough people that would be able to supply the resource that would fulfill the potential of these people. So it's very important that persons, even who cannot physically go, who cannot physically see and touch and hear, somehow give us the potential to speak to them, to talk to their hearts, that can see what is happening here and will open their hearts to these people.